Obviously, incredibly disappointed in the second half performance. I was excited about how we played in the first half, the good things we were doing, the drives, the takeaways, converting in the red zone. Felt good about it. We were beating blocks, we were tackling well, and we came out of the locker room and played poorly. Couldn't stop the run, couldn't get off the field defensively. Mostly drives, but also some chunk plays that were obviously hurtful. And we couldn't get anything going offensively, so it compounded each other. You can't. The positive in the first half was you kept Pavia off the field. We were able to drive the ball, which is part of the plan. And he had a 14-play drive and then an 8 or 9-play drive, and we couldn't replicate it in the second half. And there'll be things to lean into from the first half. And there'll be plenty to correct in the second half. It certainly wasn't very good. We got to get healthy. We got to recover. That's going to be very important this week. Great atmosphere. I can't not thank our fans. It was an unbelievable environment, what you expect in Lane Stadium. Our players certainly fed off of that early, and it was a factor in that first half. So, questions?
Start with you.
With the defense, specifically in the second half, what was Vanderbilt doing that they really got their run game going? What adjustments do you feel like you guys need to make to answer that?
Yeah, they did some trading and shifting that they weren't doing in the first half. Ran some G scheme that they found some success with. I thought the quarterback made a few plays. They got us off balance. Those first two drives, they were able to stay on schedule. They ran the reverse, they ran the option. They just did different things to mix it up, and it kind of jump-started them, to be quite honest. And they got some momentum.
Second row, Dan.
Brent, after giving South Carolina a bit of everything to handle last week, did you feel something different about the way the team performed, especially in the second half, or did you feel like it was just a short week that just took its toll?
Yeah, I don't know if, we'll look at it. We felt good about what we did this week. I think the things that we did well are important, and we did them against a good team in Vanderbilt. We got to look at what we did in the second half. And clearly, there's some things there that are very correctable, that you can see on the iPads when you come to the sideline, misfits and a little bit of confusion on some of the trades and shifts, particularly when the ball was in the middle of the field.
Go Ryan and Steve.
Coach, Hawkins led all the running backs with just 29 yards tonight. What made it so difficult to get something going on the ground?
Yeah, they're a big group now. They're big and strong. We knew that going into it. I thought we ran the ball well in the first half. I thought Hawkins, I thought Terrion came in, and after being banged up, he showed that he can help us move the football and can be a good back for us. We got to get Johnny Garrett. Got to get him healthy. Got to get him back. Your left tackle, number 6 and number 7. Number 6 on the O-line wasn't dressed out. Number 7 was dressed out, but not cleared to play yet. So we got to get healthy on the offensive line.
On that 4th and 1 in the first series in the second half there, was it because of where you were at that decided to punt, or was it the line being so good at that point?
First possession of ours in the second half. Yeah, we had the lead still at that time. We did discuss it. I don't like going for it in a situation where if you don't get it, it's points. They're basically in field goal range. If we were 10 yards, 12 yards, 15 yards more, I would have gone for it. But I want them to have to at least earn a first down to have a chance to kick a field goal, not just get no yardage and line up and have a shot at one. So, and certainly you don't feel like the second half is going to go like it did. So that was the decision.
David Guy.
You guys ended the first half offensively. You scored the touchdown. with Kyron, and then you had that long drive with John's field goal. What was different in the second half with those 3 and outs? You guys were never really able to get a rhythm on that end.
Yeah, we certainly couldn't. We couldn't protect. They were in the backfield. We tried chipping and helping out. Our guys that had to fill in and step up. We did some of that. But to be honest, I thought they were on our side of the line of scrimmage, certainly more times than not.
Let's go to the middle room then, Ricky.
Coach, I know the game wasn't the outcome that everyone wanted, but when you have guys like Harrison who got their first touchdown in their career and then Quentin who got his first interception in his career, how do you celebrate those small victories?
Yeah, we're still going to lean into the positives for sure. Like I said, there's plays in that first half that, not many in the second half, but there's a bunch in that first half that we'll lean into. And those guys are growing and maturing and getting better. I mean, those guys are young players. I'm excited for both of them. Every Sunday, no matter win or lose, we're always going to, do our team positives and make sure everybody understands, a handful of plays in each phase where the guys did well.
Ricky.
Brent, when you got back to the locker room, what was the message to the team as they were getting dressed?
Yeah, we got to find that team that we trotted out there for the first half. That's who we need to be. The team that battled down in Atlanta for 4 quarters. It's there. As coaches and players, we gotta make the corrections from the second half, and there's just way too much season left. Stick together. Make sure you look at this tape before you come over here tomorrow. It's a gut check for everybody.
Andy.
I don't think it was a secret that this was a critical year for you and for the program after an 0-2 start. Do you think this thing can get turned around, and what makes you think it can?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I like this team. I don't like how we played in the second half, but I like this team. And there's a lot of season left. The beauty of it is you wake up, you got 6 days to play the next one. You got to fix things. You got to get a plan together. And this is a good group of kids. They'll stick together. They'll wake up and they'll own it, and look to be a better team come Saturday.
We got 2 more, Tim and then Con.
Brent, one national reporter, Ross Dellinger, called the situation in Blacksburg getting hot. Vegas had you as the highest odds of the first coach fired. How much pressure are you feeling at this point?
Yeah, I'm not. We don't. I tell the players to ignore the noise. I learned that a long time ago. This is not the first time that we've been in situations like this. So, the expectations here are to win. I get that. That's why I wanted to be here. I'm not happy with where we're at right now, not from a win standpoint. But I like this team, and we'll regroup. And there's a lot of season left, and I'm still excited about what we can do.
Last one, Con.
Coach, Virginia Tech has not won a Power 4 non-conference game since 2017 against West Virginia. In your point of view, in your time here at Virginia Tech, is there anything to pinpoint as to why this keeps happening?
No, I didn't get here till 2022, so I don't know about those games before that. But we just got to keep getting better as a football team. We're a better team this year than we've been since I've been here. We got to play that way. We got the makings of it. I look forward, for us to make some big strides this week. As I said, we got to get healthy. That offensive line. I like that first 5, and all of a sudden Montavious and Johnny aren't out there, and number 6 and 7 aren't playing. All of a sudden you're playing number 8 and number 9. We just don't. That's the one spot we didn't have, experience depth at.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks everybody.